Hey everybody, David over Frequency Frontiers again. So recently, we had a gentleman that came around our amateur radio club here in Greenwood, South Carolina, and was asking questions about getting licensed and becoming an amateur radio operator. I gave him my opinion. He took his test through the Ham Radio Clubhouse Toads testing session back on in this past Monday. I'm glad to say he got his tech and his general. Congratulations, Tracy. So now, as he's sitting around waiting to get his call sign issued by the FCC here over the next day or two, I got to thinking, what are some things I wish people would have told me when I was waiting to get my call sign? Unfortunately, I took a paper test back in 2020, and I believe it took 7 or 10 days to get my call sign issued, and it was the longest 7 to 10 days ever checking to see if my call sign had been issued. I think the FCC thought I was trying to do a denial of service attack. I refreshed that page so much. So the very first thing I would do, once it is issued, verify your call sign in the FCC ULS system. The first thing, make sure it actually shows up in the database. Search for your call sign, verify your information is correct, and then print a paper copy for your records. No, you don't technically need to keep a copy on you all the time. But it's smart to have a copy. Maybe the internet goes down or you decide to go operate in a foreign country or whatever the case may be. But having a copy. Next thing you need to do is program in your local repeaters. Make sure they work. Make sure the PL tones are correct and the offsets are correct. That's the first thing I would do. And always, and remember, don't chunk the repeater. If you key the repeater up, at least throw out your call sign. And that leads into number 3. Make your first contact. At some point, you've got to key the microphone. Yes, I know mic fright's a real thing. And talking to a bunch of strangers in a way that sounds, even after the test, sounds a little foreign. Just do it. It's most hams on most local repeaters. They are ultra happy to have you there. A new person to talk to. A lot of us, people who've been licensed a while, a lot of us are getting tired of talking to the same 3 people for the last 5 years. So throwing in a 4th new person makes the day better. So make your first contact. Next thing you should do, learn your radio. Learn how to manually program your radio. Yes, using the appropriate cables and learning how to use chirp are all great things. But learning how to program your radio manually is a game changer, because if you're out in the field or you're just out riding around in your car and you want to put in a new repeater, you don't have to pull out your laptop. You don't have to pull out a cable, then figure it out and program it and read it and write. None of that. You can program it in right then and right there, and not to worry about it. Yes, I program almost exclusively through Chirp now, but I know how to manually program almost each and every one of my radios. Next thing you should do is get on the air, and make it as regular as you can. Check into some of your local nets if that's your thing. If not, go do a Parks on the Air activation. Check into some local HF nets. But get on the air. There's no way to learn the lingo and the way you prefer to operate any better than doing it. And a bonus thing that I would say do is, after a day or 2 of being licensed, check QRZ, the QRZ website. Make sure that your call sign showed up. And then when it does, put up a profile. Because when a new call sign starts blasting out their call sign on HF, APRS, FT8, whatever mode you choose, they're going to look you up there. And it don't have to be a picture or any kind of identifying information if you choose not to, but have something there. Let them know kind of about the person they're talking to. So that's all I got for today. This is KY4GM, and as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Till next time, 7-3.